Guys, thank you very much for listening to the Photography Bar podcast. If you enjoy the show, please make sure to support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and TikTok, as well as our Patreon, all of which will be linked in the show notes. Please leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast apps such as Spotify and Apple Podcast. And with all that said, let's head to the bar. Well, before we get stuck into the main podcast episode, we just wanted to have a quick chat with you about the upcoming photography show at the NEC on the 16th to the 19th of March, 2024.
We do have 20% off on the entry ticket, so do have a look in our show notes for the discount code. But Cam, quickly, what's going on at the show?
Okay, well, this is the perfect place, Mark, to browse kit. There's more than 250 brands on the floor this year, so you can get your hands on kit, which is going to be absolutely great. Loads of discounts. So this is the place to get your discounts if you want to buy in a year. Plenty of live demos as well. Nikon School, Canon Spotlight, and a whole host of others as well. So this is the place to go. NEC, the 16th and 19th of March. Get your tickets, get your discount.
Well, hello, Cam. How are you doing today? You all right?
I'm really good, Mark. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. Although I have to say, I've found some adverts that I've found quite alarming for some AI applications, which is something I want to talk about. But I think you wanted to have a chat about, the future of photography. So I think these kind of link in quite nicely, don't they?
They do actually, Mark. Yeah, it's more about predictions regarding the future of photography. We see so many things moving forward now, and with technology and how quickly it moves forward and everything. And I've come across an article, very, very interesting article by Spine, and which I found really quite engrossing. The more I sort of looked at it, I thought this would be a perfect sort of conversation, because we're always wondering where things are going to go. When is the right time to buy new cameras and that type of thing. So what I'm going to do, Mark, is I thought a good way of doing this is for me to read out some of the predictions here, and to see what what we both think really. And I think some of them are obvious. Okay, some of them may not be so obvious, but okay. So
chuck us a couple of the obvious ones first.
Yeah. Okay.
So an obvious
AI,
one first.
AI, artificial intelligence, will become a more prominent part of photography, helping photographers automate repetitive tasks, analyze data, and create new art forms.
Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer. You hardly Nostradamus to predict that one, to be fair.
Okay, all right, okay. So number 2, the use of 3D printing technology will continue to grow, allowing photographers to create physical prints of their digital images.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know. I've always found 3D printing, for what we do, is a bit of a fad. I don't know. I know, like, designers and stuff like that, because I know a friend who uses a 3D printer for things, and for the little parts that he wants to put together, little things and stuff, which I think. But I mean, when I was doing my Comic Cons, I did there was some stalls, there was a couple of stands there that did this 3D scan of you, and then they can make this 3D model of you, and it looked all right, but I don't know. I thought it was a bit of a fad. I mean, what's your thoughts about it?
Well, I did, and I was looking up where. I mean, I was trying to think where 3D printing is actually used, but it says here that the aerospace industry was the first to embrace 3D printing, and now
engineers use it a lot.
That's right, and now it says it's regarded as a standard part of their toolkit. Medical devices and dentistry, mechanical engineering, automotive, tool making.
And I completely see it for that. I completely see it for that.
Yeah. So that's only going to. I mean, this is the article was 12 predictions regarding the future of photography. So we know it is moving that way. Okay. So number 3,
just before we go on to the next one, sorry, I'm just thinking with 3D printing. Do you not see it as the same as 3D TVs, that they've tried so many times to get that off the ground and it's never really worked?
No,
I don't know. Will a 3D print like overcome like a 2D print? I'm not sure.
No,
we love our 2D prints.
Not mass consumer use, I don't think, but within the engineering world, yes, it is being used. So we won't be going out.
I see that.
I don't think we'll be going out and buying 3D printers, not in huge quantities. Number 3, the demand for high quality, immersive, virtual and augmented reality experiences will increase, creating new photography forms designed specifically for these mediums. So Now there is, I might be wrong here, but Las Vegas has this new venue. Does it not? Is it called the Sphere? The Sphere.
The Sphere.
The Sphere.
It looks incredible. Looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and I think U2 have been playing at the Sphere, haven't they?
They have. Yeah, they have.
And I've seen some of the, just seen some images. I don't think I've seen a little bit of video on social media, and it does actually look incredible. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's called the Sphere, and it's like an immersive experience.
In Vegas.
So I think U2 have got a Las Vegas residency at Sphere in Las Vegas. That would be something special.
Has been, but there's been loads of sort of immersive experiences happening. I mean, I'm not a big fan of ABBA, but ABBA Voyage is supposed to be incredible. If you like ABBA,
it's incredible.
It's supposed and really cleverly done. I was a bit of a fan of Jeff Wayne's musical version of War of the Worlds, and there's an immersive experience in London happening at the moment. And that was really good. It's all VR, and you're running away from Martians, and that was really, really cleverly done. So you're seeing more and more of these things, and they are really good.
Yeah, and as for knocking ABBA, Mark, I don't think that's acceptable. It doesn't matter what type of music you're into. Everybody loves ABBA. I
don't like them. No, they just get on my nerves. I'm sorry.
And if anyone out there hasn't been to ABBA Voyage, go. Even if you don't like ABBA's music, should we say, you'll still be absolutely intrigued by the technology that's the way they've done it, and as creators and in photography and video, it's going to be really interesting. Okay, number 4, social media will continue to play an important role in the world of photography, like fashion photography, with more photographers sharing their work and building communities online. Yeah, that's
unfortunately so.
Number 5, cameras will continue to become more compact and portable, allowing for easier travel and creative possibilities. Now, that's an interesting one, because the reason why I say that is because mirrorless bodies, yes, they are smaller, aren't they? Than one of the things I thought about mirrorless was great. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be more easily manageable. But to be honest with you, it is just the same as using a DSLR, really.
It is. You put on a great the lens. Yeah, I mean, they're saying their cameras will be more compact, and that's probably true. The lenses won't be, though. If you need to get a lot of light down your lens, you need a 1.8 lens or something, and it's a 70-300. It's going to be a massive lens. Having said that, though, the new 70-200 Canon lens, which has basically replaced the one that I use, is half the size and half the weight. So I guess in some respects it is getting there lens-wise too.
But the only thing is there, I would say, is do we want camera bodies to get smaller? Okay, we don't necessarily want them huge, but you need something that feels substantial, where it feels comfortable in your hands. So
weight for me is more of a thing than the size.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but but when you don't necessarily want cameras to get smaller. I think it will make them a little bit more fiddly to use. So I'm talking about a professional level. I'm not talking about something you just slip into your pocket if you're on holiday or something like that.
Yeah.
Drones will become increasingly popular for aerial videography and filming. Yeah, we know that. I mean, it's used so much now. Where drones
you say that though,
even more so will be in warfare, won't it?
Well, I mean, that's already the case. I think that's already happening in certain areas of the Middle East. I think around Suez and everything at the moment, isn't it? I think we're doing some drone strikes, but I understand that. I'm not so sure about that, to be honest with you. I mean, although the technology is there and drone photography is amazing, the red tape. I mean, I know the red tape you and Jordan have to go through every time you want to lift that drone up. Like, certain universities wanted it, and we couldn't use this one. We had to use that one, and the drone we used was no bigger than a keyboard, like a computer keyboard, or even smaller than that. And we had to have almost like a mile berth from everyone, didn't we, to get everybody away from this drone?
Yeah.
I remember people I had to keep making all these people stand back, and they all stood back, and then this drone came up, and it was the size of my hand, and everyone was like, "What? You got all this precaution for that?"
That was more to do, I think, with the health and safety.
That's my
inspectors,
point. That's my point.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so number 7, the demand for environmental and social justice photography will continue to increase as photographers use their art to raise awareness and promote positive change. But to be honest with you, I think that's always been going on. You look at the social movement of the 1670s, it's always been going on.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it was just to raise awareness. It's only because of social media, people's images are going to be seen that much more quickly and that much more. So yeah, I'm not sure
Yeah,
about that
well,
one.
Don McCullen was making awareness back when he was doing
Yeah,
his war photography and stuff.
yeah.
So it's
So
nothing new.
remember, this is 12 predictions about the future of photography.
The
So number
future,
8,
yeah.
the future. Minimalist and abstract photography styles will continue to grow in popularity, emphasizing simplicity, form, and texture. Not so sure about that.
I don't think anything's changed there. Actually,
No,
I
are
don't
things
think anything
becoming
will
more
change.
minimalist and abstract? I don't know. Number 9, new
Um,
forms of yeah.
yeah, I've
Number
seen some
right, yeah.
portraiture, a lot more. Yeah, I've seen it.
Number
Wouldn't say it's
9, new
mainstream though.
Yeah. Number 9, new forms of lighting technology will emerge, allowing for more creativity, control, and flexibility in photography. Definitely. I mean, you
Yeah,
see
definitely.
some of
We've
the
already
stuff,
seen it.
people like Terry Donnelly, friend of the show and Sony ambassador, and Rotolite, the stuff that he puts out on his social media. Some fantastic lighting stuff that he puts out. And I know, Mark, you're a real sort of one for lighting, and have got a lot of knowledge in that as well. And you see the new LED lights that come out. You know, the ones like Rotolite. Yeah, I think lighting is always going to be. It will always emerge. It will always be creativity within lighting and photography, won't there?
It will be. You just got to look at what's going on with, like, I mean, even when you see, I mean, when we do the graduation stuff, I mean, I still use my Elencrons, which are wired, but the battery pack lights these days make things so much easier. The LEDs that I take for weddings, I mean, they're not exactly specialist lights. I got them from Amazon, but I never. We always, when I first started shooting weddings, I did have some studio lights in the back of the car just in case, but we never set them up because it was an absolute faff. But these LEDs, you just stick it. It takes 5 minutes to put up, and it's so easy to maneuver. And yeah,
Definitely, yeah, that's right.
it's definitely there.
And they're battery powered, so you don't have the whole pat testing issue either.
Yeah,
Which a lot of
so much
venues will do.
better.
Okay, so coming on to the last 3, it says collaborative and community-driven photography projects will continue gaining traction as photographers seek new ways to collaborate and share their art. I think that's a social media thing.
Yeah.
More and more photographers collaborating, community-driven projects. You do see more and more of that, but that's a social media inspired thing. It's not necessarily a move in photography.
A photography
Number
thing.
11,
No.
the use of film inspired aesthetics in digital photography will continue to be popular as photographers seek to recreate the look and feel of classic film stocks. It's not so much of a prediction.
I don't think that's a prediction. No, I think that's
yeah,
been.
that's right. Yeah, let's give it the modern phrase. Presets and filters.
Presets and filters. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's like fashions come round and round and round. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I remember when I was at uni, the 70s were quite big, flared trousers were back, not quite to the same extent, but in fact, there was a nightclub in Derby called Flares. So it was, I think it was a chain. I think it was a Flares in quite a few towns at the time. I don't know if they're still about. They didn't play 70s music or anything like that. They just had this kind of 70s kind of style in the interior, but I mean they're a bit rubbish. I seem to remember. But now 80s. I mean, I'm definitely in the neon stuff at the moment with my time punk stuff. So the neon's definitely here. 90s will be back. We'll soon be wearing check shorts, a la Kurt Cobain, check shirts rather, a la Kurt Cobain. I'm sure the 90s will be back, and then it'll be the noughties, and you'll have the big ass bolt trousers and all that kind
Everything
of stuff.
comes back
Trends
round.
just go round. Yeah, it does. With a slight twist, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So last one, the rise of mobile photography will continue as smartphones become more powerful and move people to turn their phones as their primary cameras. I
can see that. Yeah. Primary camera always bothers me. I guess it depends on in the area of photography that you're in. As we know, we can do these content creators now that come onto weddings, don't they? And they do stuff on their phones purely for social media. It's not for anything else, but you do hear stories of wedding photography being done on the mobile phone. I mean, I would be terrified with that because generally I don't think the quality's there yet, but it will be. But I don't know, if you want a nice proper low depth of field, you need a big lens at a low f-stop with a big sensor on your camera. I don't know. I don't know, unless the technology changes rapidly, I can't see it being a primary camera. I can see it being secondary though.
Yeah, interesting, because the world of photography, the world of technology is moving ever onwards faster. The world has moved on much faster than it has done in previous sort of centuries and generations, and it will continue to push forward. There's new things that are coming that we've got no idea about. That's probably already out there. So exciting times as well. So, Mark, let's grab a drink.
Yes.
Okay, Mark. You've come across something recently that you found quite disturbing, which you showed me, which I found quite disturbing as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll just let you a history of it. Yeah. I've seen quite a few of these adverts for AI applications, and one of them, the first one I saw I think the thing is fire your photographer. And basically, it's a picture of this model who's taking a picture, and the AI app puts them into a setting where by a swimming pool with a certain dress on, and you can do it with another dress, another dress. I mean, you don't need to fire your photographer just because of this app. It's this completely different thing. But nevertheless, what they're trying to say is, look, it's going to do this. It's going to create perfect lighting for you. All you have to do is upload your picture, and it's going to change it for you. And okay, fine. We've all done these things on Snapchat, haven't we? Where you've made there's that thing that we do where it looks like we're all crying all the time and stuff like that. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
I don't, and that's what I thought about it. But I saw this other advert for it. Now, I haven't downloaded the app or anything like that, and I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not going to say the brand of the app or the
probably
name
best
of the
not.
app, but, because I thought it was quite. I just thought the advert at least was a bit tasteless. And basically, this app is a picture of a girl. It's a young girl, a looking, good looking girl, obviously like early 20s, something like that. And basically, it's got a picture of the girl, and she's in a green dress at the beginning, and then they have this thing where this sort of red. It looks like a brush stroke on Photoshop. It's in red, and it rubs it out, and it changes that green dress into a latex dress. And then they rub it out again, and it's leather underwear. And then they rub it out again, and it says no clothes. So basically, what they're saying is, what you can do with this picture is you can change it so that they look like they're naked. And of course, it wasn't a bloke on this advert; it was a woman. And I did have a look at the app. It doesn't mention in the, you can just see it on the iStore. This isn't a strange application website or anything. It's on the iStore, on the App Store rather. And I don't know. It doesn't actually mention the fact that you can upload pictures and change it, but that's what it's saying in the advert that you can do. And I thought that was kind of alarming, really, especially if it is, you can download any picture and change it as though, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson is naked or Beyonce is naked. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Is this the future? Is this where we're going?
Well, I hope not.
I hope not.
But it is going to be used for things like that. I'm sure it will be. But looking at the first thing that really gets me is this thing about firing your photographer,
yeah.
And this is where I think AI has a responsibility and can very easily sort of start to rub people up the wrong way. AI shouldn't be saying fire. Yeah. It shouldn't be saying sack your photographer.
AI isn't, by the way.
Yeah,
AI isn't saying that. It's the manufacturers of these apps that are saying that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it just says that you don't need a photographer. You can create the images that you want to create now without a photographer because they're all artificial. Create anything you can imagine. That's what some of these adverts are saying, and there's lots of these companies that are doing this, where it says you can create anything at all that you can imagine, and whereas this app can generate whatever type of pictures, and in addition to that, they're all free as well. So NSFW pics, Mark.
Yeah. So you didn't know what that meant, did you?
You know what? I've got to be honest. I didn't know. I didn't know, Mark. I didn't know.
Okay, so it stands for not suitable for work. Essentially, these pictures are probably a step or two down below soft porn. So, although sometimes you do see, boobs or whatever, but it's not hardcore porn. It's basically stuff if your boss, it's basically not suitable for work. If your boss caught you seeing this at work, you'd be in trouble. That's
Right.
essentially what it means.
Okay.
It's a stupid term and I don't like it, but
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, this whole thing that, when it shows that you've got a picture of this person and the bottom part of that had this red mask layer, which you're just moving your mouse over, it rubs it out, and it changes the outfit into something else. Yeah, absolutely great. That's what technology is moving forward. We should embrace it. We should use it. It's going to save so much time for photographers sitting there spending hours editing. Maybe you won't need to do that, so that's fine. That's that. Don't have an issue with that. But taking somebody's clothes off, and it's not. It might well be that it may not be a real person. That it says you can use imagination, do what you want to do. Well, that is very worrying because the imagination is limitless. And as I've always said, every generation pushes the boundaries further and further. If you think about our grandparents and our parents pushed our grandparents' boundaries, and we've pushed our parents' boundaries, and our children's children will be way down the line that we'll be horrified at some of the stuff that goes on. So the worry is what people will do with it. It's not AI, because we're only instructing AI. This is what we want it to do, and of course it's going to get abused. Of course it's going to get abused. But this is targeted. It's so easily targeted. You've got this advert. You've seen this. Anybody can download this. It's not.
But it says on the advert,
age.
doesn't it? So well, I think it might be actually. I think it's 17 plus. I think
right.
So yeah, I mean, how they police that, I have no idea. But but on this thing it says, I mean, on the advert it's like it goes enter prompt, so latex dress, add latex dress, add leather underwear, and then next one, add no clothes. So it's specifically for the. I mean, I don't know. It's advertising that you can do that. So basically, you can make your own naked pictures.
It says turn your fantasies into people. See how your dream person would look like. So I mean, there's something. We got to be very careful where this conversation goes, Mark. Particularly when it says here, see how your dream person would look like.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not making light of this, but there are people that have been groomed online. There are people that they're posing as pretending to be somebody else. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. We've got to be very careful where this conversation goes. And it says, see how your dream person would look like. You're starting to live in a very artificial world, because suddenly,
well, I was just
put it this way, right? I'm a guy. I'm on my own. I'm single, right? I've got nobody to answer to. Don't have a partner, and I create my own virtual partner online.
I know.
I can dress this virtual partner. I've got to be very careful what I say here. I can dress this virtual partner up however I like, make this virtual partner look however I want them to look. And my mind might get so engrossed with all of that I might actually start to believe that this person is actually real.
But artificial intelligence, I mean, it might. It's a strange one. I mean, I know what you were saying about earlier about sort of like imagination is limitless, and you are right. Imagination is limitless, but imagination being limitless doesn't necessarily mean it will be limitless by the person using it. So you just got to look at the woman in this picture. I mean, it is your stereotypical good-looking woman. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing extravagant about her. There's nothing unique. Well, not unique. Everyone's unique, but you know what I mean. She just looks like a standard model that you would see on any advert, on a billboard. It's what society says is good looking. Yeah, there's nothing quirky about her that might attract a certain person. Do you know what I mean? So, although imagination is limitless, it will just come back to, well, she's got to be slim, she's got to have big boobs or small boobs. Perfect boobs, perfect bum, perfect. It's not limitless. It just comes down to what society states is a good-looking person. Do you know what I mean? Stereotypically good-looking, and it's just, I don't know.
I don't think it's
We're all
good.
going to be automatons. We're all going to be
Yeah, I know.
boring,
Well,
looking the same, and
this is just it. I mean, not making light of what I was saying. I might suddenly start to believe that I'm actually having a relationship with this person that I've actually created.
yeah.
I can guarantee somewhere along the line, someone is going to want to marry their virtual partner. It's
Well,
not
they've
beyond the
married.
realms.
Someone's married a car, haven't they?
Yeah, of course I have, right? And it goes to show the advancement, the huge advancement within the photography world, within the photography and video world as well. That we've progressed so far into the future that we are making people that don't actually exist and believe in the quality of the images is brilliant. And okay, so we're talking about the negative side of things, but let's talk about the upside of this as well, because there are a hell of a lot of ups for doing this as well, used responsibly. Let's be honest for a moment. Yeah, I don't like this term file photographer, but let's just say I was a fashion photographer. And the reason why I say fashion photographer is because these are fashion type images. Okay. Let's say I'm a fashion photographer and I've done a shoot with a model. Um, I can advertise that model however I want to, wearing whatever type of clothes that I want to. And I'm talking about responsible stuff here, okay? Using it.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
But here I'd be thinking, look, I can save myself a ton of money here. I've got no editing to do, no retouching to do. I don't have to hire lots of models. I don't even need a photography studio for any of this. Okay.
I say, can I just stop you there, Cam? It's not you who wouldn't be needing any of these things. It'll be the fashion house that won't be needing any of these things. They'll just take the picture on a mobile phone and just do it that way. So they wouldn't need you as the photographer.
Well, of course, but the thing is that photographers might be thinking, oh, they're taking our work away. But the thing is, when digital cameras first sort of started coming out, and I remember sort of mid 2000, sort of early sort of 2000 rather, I was starting to think, oh, a lot of companies are starting to buy digital cameras here and they're taking photos of themselves. And what am I now going to do as a professional photographer? I'm not going to be needed anymore. Well, far from it, because I think there's more jobs in photography now, possibly than there were ever before.
Yeah, so, no, I see that.
The photographer's jobs will just change. They won't go. Photographers will still be needed in some capacity, whatever that capacity is. I don't know, but here, we are at the point where people are going to use this as an up, and they are, because I remember when I went digital, I thought, hey, I don't have to buy film anymore. It's so expensive. I don't have to process film anymore. So I realized how much money that this is actually going to be saving me. And it's all these people that are going to embrace AI, and they're going to be saying,
I get that. I get
exactly
that.
the same thing.
I get all of that. I get all of that, but I just find this very.
This is it's irresponsible use.
I just find it a bit disturbing. This is irresponsible use of this, and as I say, you can buy it on the App Store. It's not some thing. I don't know. I just think we're slowly but surely. I mean, sort of getting into this place where everything's got to look the same, and we've been going down this road for a long time, I guess. And I know you said imagination is limitless, but I don't see a lot of imagination here on this advert anyway. But yeah, and I also worry about mental health of people as well, because we're all going to be put against these perfect images of people. And I know that's nothing new. I get that. That's been going on since the dawn of time. But now it's you can just make that person from scratch as well. I know it's strange times, but I was quite alarmed by this advert, I have to say.
Yeah, it's worth keeping an eye on stuff like this, because to see where it is going, to see how people are using it. There are going to definitely be, I think, court cases out in the future, because what you're going to find is that somebody is going to create an image of somebody, and it's going to look very, very similar to somebody that person knows.
Yeah.
And I think, it's like music, in the sense that my music, you've copied my music, you've copied, note for note, or lyrics, or the tune, or the chords, or whatever. You're going to get, you will be getting this. You will,
But imagine online bullying with this. Online bullying with this. I mean, it's an obvious thing you could do with online bullying. You know what I mean? There's that thing, revenge porn, isn't there? But you don't even need to have the images anymore. You could just get someone's face and,
of course,
make it up, put it online, and say this is so and so in the nod when it's not. And I guess if you can make beautiful images like this, as in stereotypically good-looking images, you can probably do the opposite as well and make someone look,
Yeah, not so good.
It's
We're constantly putting the human race, the humanity is constantly putting itself under more and more pressure to be something that they're not necessarily, that they're not. And
it's a really good way of putting it, actually. Yeah.
And I think that's a worry. So, but as we all say, there's two sides to it. We've talked about the negative aspects. There is a hugely positive aspect to all of this as well, and the way people are going to use it and embrace it as well. And the world will move forward with this. It will not change. It will only move further and further forward. And as artists, creators, of any sort of art form, we should be aware of it and embrace it as well. So, and use it responsibly.
Yes,
okay,
please do.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think that's it for this one. Maybe we'll try and refrain from talking about AI next time. We do talk about it a lot, don't we?
We have been actually, not intentionally, but it just goes to show how in the news it really is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so just a quick shout out to our patrons, Cam.
Yeah, Carl Sherville, he was almost the most recent person that joined. Thank you very much. Amara Zainab, Nick Payne. Thank you very much for joining us and getting early content as well, which is great. Thank you guys for supporting us.
No, awesome stuff. Right, well, that leaves just to say cheerio for this one, but please do keep following us. Obviously, we're all on the usual socials and all that kind of stuff. And we look forward to speaking to you again next week. Bye for now.
Cheers.